boredom. We've all felt it. Staring at the clock during a slow afternoon, scrolling mindlessly through social media, or feeling trapped in an uninspiring routine. At its core, boredom is an emotional signal, a psychological itch that tells us something needs to change. But while many see boredom as a nuisance, what if it was actually a tool for motivation, self-improvement, and even success? This chapter explores what boredom really is, the different types of boredom we experience, and how science explains this universal human feeling. By the end, you'll begin to see boredom not as an enemy, but as an opportunity. Defining boredom, psychologists define boredom as a state of dissatisfaction and restlessness that arises when an individual feels disengaged from their current environment or task. It is often associated with low arousal, meaning the brain is understimulated and searching for something more engaging. According to Dr. James Dankert, a neuroscientist specializing in boredom research, boredom occurs when we want to be engaged in something meaningful but are unable to do so. Unlike apathy, which is a complete lack of motivation, boredom still contains the desire for engagement. It just hasn't found the right outlet yet. Boredom can arise in various ways. Situational boredom, temporary boredom in a dull moment, such as waiting in line or sitting through a long meeting. Existential boredom, a deeper feeling of dissatisfaction with life, often linked to a lack of meaning or purpose. Chronic boredom, a persistent state of boredom, sometimes linked to mental health issues such as depression or ADHD. Recognizing these different forms of boredom is crucial for learning how to respond to them productively. The science behind boredom. Boredom and the brain neuroscientists have identified key areas of the brain involved in boredom. 1. The default mode network, DMN. This network activates when the mind is at rest and not engaged in external tasks. When people feel bored, their DMN becomes overactive, leading to daydreaming or introspection. 2. The dopamine system. Dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, plays a significant role in motivation. Low dopamine levels can make activities feel uninteresting, while novelty and challenge boost dopamine release. 3. The prefrontal cortex. This part of the brain is responsible for decision-making and impulse control. When bored, the prefrontal cortex may struggle to direct attention, leading to distractions or restlessness. Understanding the neurological roots of boredom can help us harness it as a motivational force rather than a source of frustration. Why do we get bored? Research suggests that boredom occurs due to a mismatch between our expectations and our current reality. If an activity lacks sufficient challenge, our brains disengage. If it's too difficult, we may feel overwhelmed. The ideal state, where we are fully immersed and engaged, is called flow, a term coined by psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. Key causes of boredom include repetitive tasks. Lack of variety and challenge leads to disengagement. Lack of autonomy, feeling forced to do something reduces motivation. Low novelty. The brain craves new and stimulating experiences. Disconnection from meaning. If an activity feels pointless, boredom intensifies. Boredom versus apathy versus laziness. Boredom is often confused with apathy or laziness, but there are key differences. Boredom contains a drive for action, whereas apathy and laziness lack that internal push. Recognizing this can help us use boredom as a catalyst, rather than letting it become a negative force. How boredom can be a positive force. Historically, boredom has been the spark for some of humanity's greatest achievements. Isaac Newton discovered gravity during a period of boredom while isolated during the Great Plague. Charles Darwin developed his theories partly because of the time he spent observing nature during long, uneventful voyages. Creative geniuses like Steve Jobs and J.K. Rowling have credited boredom with giving them space to think and innovate. Boredom forces the brain to seek novelty, generate ideas, and pursue meaningful activities. When used correctly, it can become a powerful motivational tool rather than a source of frustration. Conclusion: the first step to reframing boredom. Boredom is not the enemy. It's an invitation. It signals that something needs to change, whether that's your current task, mindset, or approach to life. In the coming chapters, we'll explore how to harness boredom to fuel motivation, increase productivity, and even spark creativity. Before moving forward, take a moment to reflect. 1. When was the last time you felt truly bored? 2. How did you respond to it? 3. What could you have done differently to turn